All right, listen up because I got something real good for y'all. If you love shopping, and I know y'all do, but you're not getting paid for it, you're messing up. Let me put y'all onto Rakuten. Rakuten is an online platform that pays you cash back for shopping at stores you already buy from. We're talking Sephora, Ulta, Saks, Nordstrom, even Amazon. Every time you shop, you get a percentage of your money back straight into your account. It's free to sign up, and y'all know we're all about smart money moves over here. So stop leaving money on the table and sign up using my link in the description box below. Get your cash back, ladies. Hey, ladies. First things first, I want to check in with y'all. How are you doing today? How's your energy? How's your mindset? Are you moving through the world the way you want to, or are you feeling a little off? Listen, I know life gets crazy. You're out here handling business, showing up, making things happen. And sometimes you just need a space where you can sit back, exhale, and let someone pour into you for a change. That's what we're doing today. This ain't just a podcast, this is a conversation. So before we dive in, take a breath, relax your shoulders, adjust your crown. And let me ask you this, what do you need today? Do you need clarity? Do you need confirmation? Do you need a shift? Because of today's episode, it's about a woman who moves differently. A woman who doesn't chase, doesn't force, doesn't overcompensate, but still gets everything she desires. And I know some of y'all have been feeling tired of doing too much. I know some of y'all are ready to step into a new way of moving. So today, let's talk about how to embody effortless attraction. All right, ladies, we are back. Welcome to Billionaire Embodiment Entertainment, where we don't just talk about success, we embody it. Y'all already know what it is. We break down high-value women, power moves, and billionaire embodiment strategies in a way nobody else is doing it. If you missed the last few episodes, we already talked about Charmaine, the woman who owns the room before she even speaks. Then we got into Layla, the woman who attracts everything without chasing. But tonight we're talking about Sierra. Sierra is different. Sierra is the woman who never, and I mean never, second guesses herself. She moves with certainty. She operates with non-negotiable standards. She is a walking testament to self-respect. And because of that, the world treats her accordingly. So ladies, if you've ever struggled with setting boundaries, walking away from situations that don't serve you, or feeling like you have to prove your worth, this one's for you. Let's get into it. What makes Sierra different? Harrison Jacobs. All right, fellas, y'all know how this goes. We got to break this one down. Sierra ain't your average woman. She's not out here hoping a man picks her. She's not playing games. She's not adjusting her standards for convenience. She moves like her worth is already written in stone. And guess what? That changes everything. She doesn't negotiate her standards. She doesn't over-explain her decisions. She doesn't waste time proving why she's valuable, because she already knows she is. So tell me, fellas, why do y'all think most women struggle with this? Malik, man, listen, most women say they have standards, but the second they meet a guy they really like, all of a sudden those standards get flexible. David, facts. They want to believe the best in people, so they ignore red flags, thinking they can fix the situation. Jordan. Meanwhile, Sierra, she doesn't ignore reality. She moves like she knows exactly what she deserves, and if somebody isn't bringing it, she's gone. Harrison Jacobs, exactly. Sierra is the woman who doesn't wait for clarity because clarity is her default. A man tells her he isn't ready for a relationship. She believes him the first time. She doesn't negotiate her value. She doesn't try to prove why she's worth commitment. She just moves on. And you know what happens next? That same man, he comes running back. But by the time he realizes what he lost, she's already upgraded. All right, ladies, if you're serious about building a brand, making money, and stepping into your billionaire era, you need to read this book. It's called The One Woman's $1 Billion Business by Kiana Devine, and it breaks down exactly how to turn your ideas into an empire, step by step. If you've been thinking about entrepreneurship but don't know where to start, this is where you start. Click the link in the description box below and grab your copy today. You don't have to wait for a team to get started. The $1 billion business? It starts with you. The power moves that make her untouchable, Harrison Jacobs. All right, ladies, let's get tactical. Let me give you the 5 moves Sierra makes that separate her from every other woman in the room. 1. She listens to what's being said, not what she wants to hear. A man tells her he's not ready, she believes him the first time. 2. She moves quickly because hesitation kills value. The longer you linger in uncertainty, the more your worth drops. Sierra makes decisions fast. 3. She never begs for clarity because clarity is her default. She doesn't chase explanations. If a man is inconsistent, that's all the information she needs. 4. She doesn't confuse effort with worth. Most women think the more they give, the more valuable they are. Sierra knows the right people recognize her value effortlessly. 5. She enforces her standards effortlessly. She doesn't have to check a man on how to treat her because the moment he falls short, she removes herself. Real-world application. Audience Conda moves with power on Instagram asks, Harrison, what if you've already lowered your standards? Can you fix it? Harrison Jacobs, listen, Queen. You always have the power to course correct. The first step is deciding that today you're done settling. The second step is enforcing that decision with action. Stop responding to things that don't align. Stop giving second chances where they're not deserved. Stop explaining your worth to people who should have recognized it from the start. The moment you move differently, the world treats you differently. Period. Luxury Mindset on TikTok asks, how does a woman rebuild her confidence after losing herself in a situation? Harrison Jacobs, Queen, let me tell you something. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you decide to have. You rebuild by making small, powerful choices every day. You rebuild by remembering who the hell you are. You rebuild by setting standards and sticking to them. And most importantly, you stop apologizing for wanting more. Your confidence comes back the moment you start moving like you never lost it. The men reflect on Sierra. Personal stories, Harrison Jacobs. All right, so we broke down Sierra. What she does, how she moves, why she's untouchable. But let's get real for a second. Fellas, y'all ever dated a woman like this? A woman who knew her worth so well that it either challenged you to step up or had you wondering how you even fumbled the bag? Malik, man, listen. Sierra reminds me of this woman I met a few years back. Her name was Aaliyah. She was fine, damn near perfect. She had the presence, the mystery, the energy that made you want to impress her. I took her to one of the best rooftop restaurants in Miami. We had an amazing night. I thought I had it in the bag. But guess what? She never hit me back. No explanation. No, let's do this again. She just disappeared. I was confused as hell. I ain't never had a woman move like that before. So I finally asked her, did I do something wrong? You know what she said? David, oh, I already know this is about to be bad. Malik, she said, nah, you didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't do enough. Man, when I tell you that hurt, that hit me differently. She wasn't mad. She wasn't bitter. She just wasn't impressed. And that's when I realized Sierra-type women, they don't settle for good enough. They know their worth too well to entertain something that's only halfway right. That's a different level of self-respect. Now, if we're talking smart money moves, we got to talk about the Discover It credit card. Listen, if you're using a debit card for every purchase, you're playing yourself. With the Discover It card, you get unlimited cash back for your first year, meaning whatever cash back you earn, Discover will match it dollar for dollar. So instead of just spending money, why not make money while you spend? Use my link in the description box below and apply today. Get your bag up the smart way. How Sierra-type women force men to step up. Harrison Jacobs. Malik, bro, you just hit the nail on the head. A Sierra-type woman will force you to look at yourself in a way most men aren't ready for. She's not going to beg for effort. She's not going to entertain half measures. She's either deeply impressed or she's gone. And because of that, she's the woman men never forget. She doesn't argue. She doesn't fight for clarity. She just exits. And that alone makes men rethink everything. David, I see you shaking your head over there. Talk to me. David, man, I had my own Sierra moment. She was the one that got away. Back when I was younger, I met a woman named Simone. She was a lawyer, sharp as hell, gorgeous, had that I don't need you, but I'll choose you energy. I tried to impress her, took her to the best places and dressed the part. But deep down, I wasn't ready. I was still moving like a man who didn't know his own worth. I was inconsistent. I wasn't leading. I was showing up as a maybe when she needed a hell yes. And just like Malik said, she was gone before I even realized what happened. No drama, no arguments, just absence. That woman taught me something most men don't learn until it's too late. When you're in the presence of a woman like Sierra, you either step up or you get left behind. How high-value women force men to choose them or lose them, Jordan. So what y'all saying is a Sierra-type woman will never beg you to get it right. She won't sit around hoping you evolve. She lets you show your level. When you don't match her, she moves accordingly. Man, I ain't even mad at that. That's how it should be. Harrison Jacobs, exactly. A high-value woman will never make you guess what she deserves. She expects the best and moves like she already has it, and because she never lowers the bar, the right men rise to meet her. That's why Sierra is different. She doesn't just have standards, she enforces them, and because of that, she never loses. Harrison opens up the Q&A session. Harrison Jacobs. All right, ladies, y'all have been blowing up the comments, and I love it. We're talking about Sierra, the woman who never second-guesses herself. We just broke down how she moves, how she enforces her standards, and how she forces men to step up or step out. But now, it's time to hear from y'all. Let's get into these social media questions. Conda question first, why do men chase a woman like Sierra after losing her? She moves with grace on Instagram. Ask Harrison, why do men always come running back to a woman like Sierra after she leaves? Why don't they just act right in the first place? Harrison Jacobs, Queen, I love this question because this is exactly where men mess up. A woman like Sierra doesn't get fully appreciated until she's gone. Men don't realize what she is giving until they compare her to the average. Once she removes herself, suddenly she's all they think about. But here's the reality. A man doesn't recognize a Sierra if he's not ready for a Sierra. If a man is still operating at a basic level, he's going to overlook a woman like her because she's not easy to manipulate. If a man is still playing games, he's going to be confused by a woman who moves with certainty. If he's used to women over-explaining, over-giving, and over-proving, Sierra's silence is going to shake his whole world. So when does he finally get it? After she's gone. And by then, it's too late. Malik, man, that hit too real. I swear, there are some women from my past that I still think about because back then, I wasn't moving right. And when they left, it wasn't just losing a girl, it was losing a standard. David Fax, a Sierra-type woman doesn't just walk away, she takes her energy, her peace, her whole aura with her. And once a man realizes what he lost, he starts looking for it in every other woman, but never finds it. Harrison Jacobs, exactly. So ladies, if a man loses you and then realizes what he had, that's not your problem. That's his lesson. You don't double back. You don't give second chances to clarity that should have been there the first time. You move forward like the prize you are. And trust me, that alone is enough to keep him up at night. Conda question second, can a woman become a Sierra or is she just born that way? Queen Energy on TikTok asks, Harrison, what if I haven't been moving like Sierra? Can I become this type of woman, or do you have to be born with this mindset? Harrison Jacobs, listen, Queen, any woman can evolve into a Sierra. This isn't about being born a certain way. It's about deciding to move differently. You become Sierra the moment you stop explaining your worth. You become Sierra the moment you stop waiting for clarity and start moving on certainty. You become Sierra the moment you realize that losing a low-effort man is not a loss. It's all about embodiment. If you move like a woman who never second-guesses herself, the world will adjust. If you start treating yourself like a woman of high value, the right people will step up. If you stop negotiating your standards, suddenly only high-standard situations will show up. This isn't a mindset you wait to have. It's a choice you make today. Jordan, man, let me tell y'all, when a woman finally gets tired of her own excuses and steps into her power, the whole world changes for her. Suddenly, she ain't dealing with trash men no more. Suddenly, opportunities start flowing. Suddenly, she starts moving with that effortless confidence that makes everybody notice. It's like magic. Harrison Jacobs, that ain't magic, bro. That's self-respect in motion. And the moment a woman steps into that energy, she never goes back. Conda question third, How do you know if a man is really worth your time? Luxury Mindset on Facebook asks, Harrison, I get the whole high standards thing, but how do I know if a man is actually worth my time? What's the first sign? Harrison Jacobs, Queen, this is easy. The first way to know if a man is worth your time, you never have to wonder. A real man moves with certainty. A real man doesn't send mixed signals. A real man is clear about his intentions. If you're sitting around wondering, does he really like me? Is he serious or just playing? Why is he inconsistent? Then you already have your answer. If you have to question it, he's not the one, period. A man who truly values you, you'll feel it in his actions, not just his words. Matter of fact, before we keep going, let's take a second to pay these bills. Listen, y'all, if you're enjoying this conversation, getting some real value from it, I got one simple request. Hit the Cash App. The link is in the description box below. Your support helps keep the podcast running, keeps these luxury conversations going, and makes sure we keep bringing y'all nothing but the real. So if you want to show some love, go ahead and drop something in the Cash App. I appreciate every single one of y'all. The moment of realization, time to create a list, Harrison Jacobs. All right, fellas, we've been chopping it up about Sierra, how she moves, how she never negotiates her worth. But I feel like we got to leave the ladies with something solid, something they can take with them after this episode ends. We always tell women, know your worth. But how do they actually know when they're moving like a woman who truly values herself? David, man, that's real. Know your worth is one of those phrases people throw around. But let's be honest, some women don't even realize when they're selling themselves short. Malik, exactly. A lot of them think they have high standards. But when you break it down, they're still accepting the bare minimum and calling it patience.Jordan. So what we need to do is give them something tangible, a checklist, something they can look at and say, yep, I'm on point, or damn, I need to tighten up. Harrison Jacobs, say less. Ladies, if you're listening, get ready to take notes. As a matter of fact, we're going to put this in a free downloadable guide for y'all in the description box below. This is the official You Know Your Worth Win checklist. Let's run it down. The You Know Your Worth Win checklist, David. All right, I'll start it off. 1. You know your worth when you don't entertain men who are unsure about you. If a man says he doesn't know what he wants, you don't wait around while he figures it out. You move on. Malik. 2. You know your worth when you don't chase, beg, or negotiate for love. A man should never be confused about you. If you have to constantly remind him how valuable you are, he's not the one. Jordan. 3. You know your worth when silence is more powerful than over-explaining. You don't beg for clarity. You don't over-explain your standards. You set them, and if he doesn't meet them, you move accordingly. Harrison Jacobs. 4. You know your worth when you prioritize your own peace over proving your worth to a man. If being with him disrupts your peace, it's not worth it. David. 5. You know your worth when you don't lower your standards just because you like someone. Feelings don't override facts. Just because you're into him doesn't mean you should accept less than what you deserve. Malik. 6. You know your worth when you never compete for a man's attention. If he's entertaining other women, let him. A man who values you won't make you feel like an option. Jordan. 7. You know your worth when you don't give girlfriend benefits to a man who hasn't earned them. No commitment, no access. Simple. Harrison Jacobs. 8. You know your worth when you don't let chemistry make you ignore red flags. Liking him isn't enough. He has to be right for you. David. 9. You know your worth when you stop explaining your standards and just start enforcing them. You don't have to argue about what you deserve. You just require it. Malik. 10. You know your worth when you don't feel the need to prove your value to anyone. Your presence alone is enough. Jordan. 11. You know your worth when you don't settle just because you're tired of waiting. Patience is a virtue. Desperation is a liability. Harrison Jacobs. 12. You know your worth when you trust actions over words. Talk is cheap. Effort is proof. David. Do you know your worth when you don't hold on to men just because of potential? He has to be showing up as the man you deserve right now. Malik, 14. You know your worth when. You never beg someone to see your value. If he doesn't see it, it's because he was never meant TTO. Jordan, 15. You know your worth when. You can walk away without second-guessing yourself. Leaving a bad situation isn't a loss, it's a win. Harrison Jacobs, 16. You know your worth when. You make men earn access to you. Not everyone gets a seat at your table. David, 17. You know your worth when. You don't let loneliness make you lower your standards. A season of singleness is better than a lifetime of regret. Malik, 18. You know your worth when. You stop settling for bare minimum energy. You deserve someone who goes all in. Jordan, 19. You know your worth when. You don't let outside opinions dictate your value. Only you get to define your worth. Harrison Jacobs, 20. You know your worth when. You choose yourself first every single time, because when you prioritize you, the world follows suit. Harrison Jacobs, ladies, y'all just got the blueprint. Download the You Know Your Worth When checklist in the description box below. Keep this list, read it often, internalize it, and most importantly, start living it. If this episode gave you clarity, drop a comment and tell me which point hit the hardest. Harrison's final story, the day Sierra shocked him, Harrison Jacobs. All right, before we close out, I got to tell y'all about the moment Sierra really had me shook. Now, y'all know I work with some of the most powerful, high-value women in the world. I've seen confidence. I've seen self-assurance. But what Sierra did, it was next level. It was the day she walked away from a man that 99% of women would have fought to keep. This man wasn't some average dude. He was rich, like generational wealth rich. He had power status, the type of man most women dream about. And he was obsessed with Sierra. He flew her out on private jets. He showered her with gifts. He made sure she never had to lift a finger. But Sierra, she left him without hesitation. I remember asking her, what happened? Did he cheat? Did he do something wild? You know what she told me? No, he never disrespected me, but he also never elevated me. And if a man can't elevate me, he doesn't deserve me. Let me tell y'all something. I had to sit back and process that. Because most women would have stayed, they would have convinced themselves that because he was rich, successful, and treated them well, that was enough. But Sierra doesn't do just enough. She doesn't settle for better than my ex. She only moves with men who upgrade her mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And that, ladies, that's how you move when you know your worth. David, bruh, you know how rare that is. 99% of women would have justified staying with him because he treats me nice. Sierra wasn't moved by material things. She was moved by growth. Malik, man, that takes a different level of discipline. She didn't just know her worth. She refused to accept anything less than constant evolution. That's real power. Jordan, and that's why we're still talking about her. Because women like that, they leave an impact. They set a standard. Ladies, let me hook y'all up real quick. I know some of y'all are listening on the go, at work, on your lunch break, handling business. And you might be thinking, damn, I wish I had all these notes written down. Guess what? I got you. I put together a short, cute little ebook of this exact podcast episode. It's got all the tips, all the strategies, and all the game we just talked about. So you can sit with it, highlight it, and revisit it anytime you want. Go ahead and download it from the link in the description box below. The Sierra Standard Harrison Jacobs. So here's what I need y'all to walk away with. You don't settle for good enough. You demand damn near perfect. You don't cling to a man just because he has money. You ask, can he expand me? You don't let comfort make you compromise your worth ever. Because listen to me carefully. A man might have everything, but if he doesn't elevate you, he doesn't deserve you. Sierra proved that. And because of that, she's in a league of her own. Harrison Jacobs. Ladies, if this episode resonated with you, drop a comment and let me know what hit the hardest. Are you moving like a woman who never second guesses her worth? Are you willing to walk away from comfortable for legendary? Are you setting a standard that only the most powerful men can meet? If not, it's time to level up. Don't forget to grab the You Know Your Worth When checklist. The link is in the description. And the next episode, we're talking about Noelle, the woman who balances elegance with power. This is Billionaire Embodiment Entertainment. This is the Harrison Jacobs effect. And this is just the beginning. Until next time, move like you already won. We'll be back here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Set your reminders, hit that subscribe button, and don't miss a single episode. Now listen, ladies, if you've been thinking about starting a side hustle, or you're tired of sitting in a closet full of designer bags, shoes, and clothes you don't even wear anymore, I got the perfect solution for you, Poshmark. With Poshmark, you can sell your items, make real money, and start building your own brand right from your phone. And if you don't have stuff to sell, you can also source and flip high-end pieces for profit. This is low risk, high reward, and the easiest way to start a business today. Use my link in the description box below and start making money today. Stop waiting. Start selling. Get to the bag. We'll be back here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Set your reminders, hit that subscribe button, and don't miss a single episode.